You know,
I used to. Did you have any GI Joes when you were growing up?
yes, I remember.
I love.
So I had the one that had the beard, and
How'd you end up with that? Your parents bought it for you?
yeah,
See, my parents, and
yeah,
they could afford it.
yeah. Well, my dad had gotten a better job, and I had the badass bike with a shifter on it.
Nice.
I could go first, second, third gear, and had the swing. You know, had the long banana seat, and I had the big old CC bar in the back of the seat. I had the big old ape hangers.
Man.
I had a mirror.
Yeah,
I had a
mirror, too.
horn.
Yeah.
I had a light. and I had the GI Joe. But what I would do, because we lived on the second floor, and I would tie GI Joe, and he would rappel down the building.
Just like the commercial.
I guess, yeah. And you know, I had some stuff that he could like be a frogman, or
You know, I would have loved to have those toys when I was a kid. I had toys, but I don't remember ever getting like a real GI Joe. And I guess we couldn't afford it. Things were expensive for your parents and all that. And then when Willie was little, man, I bought him all those GI Joes. My wife bought them, and I was playing with them because they got their little outfits, and you can change their boots and put their guns.
Yeah, it was a doll for boys.
And I wanted to take care of them, but Willie would
break them
and take their clothes off. They were half naked all the time, and their guns would disappear.
That's what kids. I mean, I'm sure I would always like want to see what's on the inside. You know.
You probably did that to the Barbies.
Yeah, I wanted, but it was a mystery down there. It was just a smooth. I'm like, well, how do where do they pee at? I don't get it. And GI Joe was the same way.
Yeah, but you would undress the Barbies?
Huh?
You would?
No, I didn't get to play with Barbies because I didn't have any.
I'm not saying you play with Barbies. Did you undress a Barbie?
I'd take a look up the skirt.
I remember seeing a naked Barbie, and I looked at it real quick, and I turned it over. Oh my gosh, sorry. I turned it over, and let me turn it over. And they had these two little stripes on the small of her back. I don't know why I remember that. So there was her butt, and then they had the two little stripes on indentations on the small of her back.
Barbie had dimples on her butt.
Oh, did she?
I think so. I don't know why I said that, but I think she did. I think when you would.
I don't even want to know what you did to the Barbies, Dad.
You know those dimples right on top of girls' buttocks. Well, not all girls have it, but some girls do. Barbie did.
Yeah.
I think. Well, at least the 70s versions.
And her boobs were smooth.
Yeah.
They didn't have nipples or anything.
No, no satisfaction at all.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. You lost interest real quick.
Yeah, it's
a doll.
Yeah. He's the same as G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do. I couldn't figure it out. I don't even know where babies came from.
You know, I was telling you earlier about my memories with Ninfas and Santigos. Where did you work when you're?
I didn't work a lot. I worked a summer at the ranch. I would do stuff at the ranch. And it wasn't until I was in the high school years. Mm-hmm. I worked for a grocery store.
Oh, really?
And then I worked at night sometime. I was doing this Stan's Fried Chicken in Kennedy, Texas. And I would come in like at 8 o'clock at night after they closed or so. And then I would have to mop the kitchen. If you ever had to clean a kitchen, that's what my job was. And a fried chicken place, that's the most nastiest job, the hardest grease to get out.
Oh my God.
I remember coming in the next day, the first time, and my boss was upset at me because he said, I had to remop the floor.
Oh, shit.
He said it wasn't good enough. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
And the water had to be real hot to break the oil up. Because it's a stubborn oil.
What'd you tell him when he said that?
I just did it better the next day. I worked harder on it, and I don't remember him complaining, but I think I quit because it was only It wasn't a per hour job. It was like, okay, you come here at night, I'll pay you $10, and whatever long it took you, that's what you got. So it was $10. So you might work 3 hours or whatever,
Yeah.
2 hours or 1 hour. It's the same amount of money. So it was, I needed a better soap,
Yeah, that's
a degreaser. It was hell to get up.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like fun at all.
Yeah.
I remember having a paper route.
Yeah. See, you worked a lot. I didn't have to work because
Even today, it's the same thing.
I'm still not working.
I started I started even before with a paper route. My dad I have 2 older brothers, and we would go to North Dakota for work, and we worked in the construction. And I mean, I was 10, 11, 12 years old, and I'm at the construction site with him. I didn't do all the the craftsman work, but I was cleaning all the time, cleaning all the crap, and coming right behind them. Or when we painted, I'd be at the end of the day cleaning the brushes. Well, I did paint a lot, but then I had the task of cleaning everything. I hated that, man. I hated it.
Yeah.
And my dad would work from sun up to sundown. We would not stop working until that sun started going down.
Yeah, I went to work with my dad one day when we lived in Houston, in Channelview, and I said, "Dad, let me go with you to work." And he didn't really want me to go to work, but I went with him to work, and I had to stay in this building where they kept all the paints and stuff because I wasn't allowed. They had their hard hats and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It was an industrial site,
Mm-hmm.
and I spent a day with it, and I was like, "God damn!"
What?
I was thinking to myself, how hard this man has to work to make this money. And, I thought to myself, I never want to work like that.
Yeah.
I said, it's just a hard work. But he did it for us. I mean, he did it to make a living. That's all he knew. And being Hispanic back then, and there was not very many jobs or, college and all that for we came from a migrant worker background, and he was trying to get out of that, and he did. And we ended up buying a house. He lived in a house, and for me, I had a good childhood because of it. My brothers and sisters, not so much, because they lived from ranch to farm or whatever they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Just like sharecropping kind of stuff, I guess. Well, I don't know if he was sharecropping. He just working for the farmer, the rancher.
Yeah.
And so they had a totally different life than I did.
No, my childhood, my dad. Well, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them because it's a lot of money to raise 5
He
kids,
came from,
man.
Y'all came from Mexico.
From Mexico, but everything's still expensive, I mean, to raise 5 kids and have all those expenses, you can only provide so much. And we went to work as a family, man, from sun up to sundown.
Yeah.
Only for me, I only remember doing it for 2 or 3 years, and only during the summers. We did go to school. That's why I look forward to school. So, good. I don't have to work all day.
Yeah.
It sucked. Those were my summers working.
Yeah.
Man. But I mean, you have to do what you have to do, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's your story,
Yeah.
My life was completely different.
Yeah. Sounds like you had an easy life, man.
I still got an easy life.
Well, anything else you want to say about them good old days? You remember Billy Jack?
Who?
Billy Jack?
Yes, the kung fu guy.
Kung Fu. I love Billy Jack.
Yeah.
I love to watch his movies. It made you feel weird. I don't know.
Yeah, Billy Jack, Bruce Lee.
I'm going to take this right foot and whop you on the left side of your face. I don't know if you remember that scene.
And he was always barefooted.
He was barefoot when he fought. Yeah.
And he always lived in in the most hickest place he could find. Right? He was he had this cowboy hat, but it was flat.
Oh, yeah. The
black. And I think he was part Indian or something.
He was part Indian, yes.
Or something like that. And he was
or raised by the
he
Indians.
was fighting the white man.
Yeah.
The white man's always trying to keep him down, but he would always roundhouse him somehow.
But he'd fight the hippies too, remember? He would fight some
I don't remember
hippies.
the hippies.
Yeah, the hippies.
Oh, he had to fight everybody.
Yeah, the hippie motorcycle gang.
Oh, I didn't see that movie.
Yeah.
If I did, I don't remember, but I remember
Billy Jack.
Billy Jack.
YouTube him. It's fun to watch.
Yeah,
People make better YouTube movies than
Kung
than,
Fu. Do you remember Kung Fu?
yeah, Kung Fu. David Carradine.
The TV show.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a lot. At those in the 70s, there was another phase we went through.
Mm-hmm.
The Kung Fu, karate type movies.
Do you remember?
Bloodsport.
Do you remember magazines? On the back of the magazines, there'd be all these little ads. One of them would be karate, and you could send off for it, and then you'd get either
you could get everything on the back of the magazine.
Right.
I remember looking, and I actually did it. Plans to make a helicopter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it wasn't like a hovering helicopter. It's a gyrocopter.
Okay.
And I remember they sent me all these blueprints and stuff. And
I remember.
Like,
yep.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I was thinking if you can just send $5 and they would send you something to make something.
Yeah, or karate lessons, or build muscles.
Yeah.
The Muscle Man. Remember that cartoon, The Muscle Man? He's kicking sand in the face of the skinny guy.
Yeah.
And then the
skinny guy gets tired of it.
Yeah. And send off for this. And the next one, he's big and strong and he beats up the guy. I also remember the Columbia music. Remember Columbia music?
Oh, what a rip-off. And you could never shut it off.
Well, I mean, you got, for a penny, you get 10 albums.
Yeah.
But then you were committed to buying 10 more albums or something.
It was every month. And they would send it to you.
Yeah.
And you would try this, because I remember my cousin Henry did it. and he couldn't shut it off. And he had all these he just stopped paying, I think, and they eventually stopped sending it. But every month they would send you there's an album of automatically. And you didn't have a choice.
Automatically.
Just automatically. And you would get was it cassette or was it
no,
a record player?
It was
a record player. You put the little needle on there.
It was. I can't remember whether it must have been either albums or cassettes, one or the other.
Yeah, I guess. Well, if it was in the 70s, it was probably albums.
Yeah, it was in the 70s.
Because the 80s is when the
cassettes
kind of took off.
The big old 8-tracks. Remember those suckers?
Oh, the 8-tracks were in the 70s. I remember, and we'd have to stick like a matchbook on one side of the 8-track because it would be misaligned.
Oh, really? Yeah.
And you only had 4 tracks, and each track had like 2 songs or something, and it always made a clunking sound. Whenever you push the button, it go clunk, clunk. When you go to first track, second track, third track.
Oh, good times, good times.
Yeah.
Shoot. Well, that was a lot of good times on the day.
Yeah, there was a lot of. I mean, times have changed so much.
Let us know what good times you have. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and Cash App. What else was there?
We always say it's Cash App, but we don't have a Cash App.
I know. We need to. Let's get.
I put my Cash App up on.
No. Let's get a Cash App, and then. But let's get some subscribers because.
Yeah.
94 ain't gonna cut it, guys. So subscribe and watch the whole video so we can make a living off of this. Because Ernie needs some work. He needs money. Look at the shirt he's wearing today. I don't know where he got that shirt from. So
Plato's Closet.
Yeah, Plato's Closet. So it was fun. It was fun talking about the good old days. We have different good old days to remember, I guess.
Yeah, we all have different versions of it, but we all have our precious memories. Precious memories. In the end, that's what all you really have is memories.
That's all you have.
You can't take the money with you. You can't take the Mercedes.
Share some of you. You can't take the hats.
I'm going to be buried with this hat.
Share some of your memories. Good talking to you or good seeing you. Until next time.
See you later.